Hola, hola, buenas tardes. We are at 12 o'clock. Son las 12, ¿verdad? Buenas tardes a todos. We are back for day 2. We're doing a back-to-back triple stack. I know they don't even do those at Wendy's. Not anymore. Might have skipped through there a couple of times when I was working back in the day as a teenager. Made a couple of triple stacks in my day. But here we go. We're learning to stack today. We're going to keep building on the methods that we have learned. We're going to open the doors to the classroom. Won't you come? Won't you come? Let everybody in. Greet us when you come in. Hola, buenos dias. I saw my man in the building. Excel Pro is here. Buenas tardes, hermano. Buenas tardes. Thank you for being here. We're going to get this lesson popping off in about 10 seconds. So we want to make sure we leave the doors open just in case somebody jumps in here. We're going to leave those doors open. If you're watching this on the replay, thank you for joining us for class today. We're talking about, what are we talking about? We're talking about stacking and meshing. Yeah, there's a whole lot of terminology I like to use because it makes it stick. I'm all about making things stick here. And it's not necessarily memorization that we're working with. We are working more so with learning how to apply what it is that we're talking about. Let me make this thing bigger. All right. So, damas y caballeros, as we always do, ladies and gentlemen, we start off with el calentamiento. El calentamiento. We've got here, it says, write the correct form of the verbs in the present tense. Write the correct forms of the verb in the present tense. So we're going to give you a second to look at those. Meanwhile, we will definitely pause the screen if you're working on the replay here. And also, we want to make sure you share this out to those people that you know that are trying to learn Spanish. Make sure you get this to them. We say down at the bottom, it says share this lesson with 5 people. Whether you know that they have mentioned this at some time before in their life, man, I need to learn Spanish. Go ahead and share this thing with them, okay? Let them know that we got some free stuff popping off in here and that they can definitely check out the previous live streams so that we can know that they are ready to continue on with us. All right, so in this warm-up, we've got yo blank en Texas. All right, so we know that the verb vivir significa to leave. Okay, we're working on conjugating, making our subject agree with our verb, right? So we've got yo blank en Texas. Okay, número dos, Javier y Joaquín blank hamburguesas con queso. I know you're looking at this and like, man, why do these sentences look the same as the last few classes? I'm just embedding things. That's all I'm doing. I want you to know a couple of words. And so I'm going to utilize these over and over again. For example, hamburguesas con queso. I want you to know that that's cheeseburgers. We got something coming up. I know we had a young lady ask me to make a video about being able to order things. So these are things that we want to start making sure that we know in the beginning. Comer, el verbo comer significa to eat. All right, we need the correct form of the verb. Remember, 3 rules there. Identify, is it an AR, ER, IR verb, right? That's what we're doing. Step 2, we want to take off that AR, ER, or IR. Step 3, make your subject and your verb agree using las terminaciones, the endings that we came up with yesterday, as well as the previous class about subject verb agreement. Número 3, Susana blank la puerta. Susana blank la puerta. Abrir significa open. All right. Significa open. It means open. Abrir. All right. Y también tenemos Susana, Rafaela y yo blank por teléfono. All right. Susana, Rafaela y yo blank por teléfono. So what are we saying right there? Well, we know hablar means to talk, right? Or to speak. Okay, so we want to make sure you know that. All right, so let's take a look at the answers because we're not going to delay this any longer. People are on their lunch break, so we want to make sure that you are available to take a look at this. So aquí tenemos las respuestas. Yo vivo en Texas. All right. In inglés, I live in Texas, or I'm living in Texas. All right, so yo vivo en Texas. Y también tenemos Javier y Joaquín. Oh, sorry. Javier y Joaquín comen hamburguesas con queso. All right. Javier and Joaquín eat cheeseburgers or are eating cheeseburgers. All right. That's what we want to make sure we know what it's saying there. Número 3. Susana abre la puerta. Susana abre la puerta. Okay. Susana opens the door. Okay. Y número 4. Susana, Rafaela y yo hablamos por teléfono. Right. Susana, Rafaela, and I talk on the phone, or we talk on the phone, or we are talking on the phone. All right, damas y caballeros, vamos a continuar. We're going to continue here. La palabra vieja fue I can, right? That's what we're talking about today. Can you, can I can, we can. That's what we're focusing on today. Our first one that we need to know, I can. Yo puedo, or simply puedo. Remember, we can use yo puedo, or you can speak without it. You don't need it because the ending tells me, oh, this is the yo form of that verb. It's the I. It's the first person singular form. Puedo. So you can simply say puedo. Now, to reverse that, this is a little hint on top of the hint. Did you know, sabías? Did you know that I can take puedo and utilize it as, instead of I can turn it into a question. All right. The only way that we know that it's being utilized as a question is that we have rise in intonation at the end of the question. That ticks off, or it gives us the clue. Oh, that person's asking me a question. Puedo leer la información, right? Or puedo leer la información. All right, so you want to know that rise in intonation that lets you know, oh man, this is a question. So puedo can simply be I can in a statement, and puedo, can I, en una pregunta, in a question. Y la palabra de hoy, damas y caballeros, aquí tenemos I have. All right, I have. This is the word of the day. I wanted you to jot this down in tu cuaderno. Usa un lápiz o una pluma. Make sure you have your notebook and use a pencil or a pen to jot this down. I have en español significa tengo. Tengo, I have. O podemos decir yo tengo. Es la manera formal. Es la forma formal. Yo tengo. But remember, you don't have to use it. Why? Once again, we can see that the O signifies that this is in the yo form. So tengo or yo tengo. Cryptic Minds, welcome to the mix. Welcome to the mix. Bienvenido. All right, so check it out. Here we go. Did you know? We got another one. ¿Sabías? Did you know that tener is the number 4 most used verb in español? That should send off some bells and whistles in your head saying, hey, I might need to learn this verb. Well, guess what? Mañana, we're coming right back. I'm not even going to wait to the end. I'm throwing out surprises at the beginning. We're coming right back for day number 3, and we're going to be working with the verb tener, okay? So make sure you pull up for that as well. All right, so what are we in this process of this week? What are we doing this week? We are bringing sentences to life. We want you to create. Hola, señor, kings and dreams. Bienvenido, señor. Hey, Courtney, my man. Excelente. Yeah, we out here trying to do some big things, Chief. All right, so learning to conjugate is what we're doing here, right? You might want to say, wait a minute now. Let's review this, profe. Repasemos. Let's review. What are you talking about? Well, first and foremost, we got to make verbs agree with the doer of the action. That's what we mean by conjugating, okay? Make the verb agree with the doer of the action. I can't say in English, I be at the store, or I to be at the store. We got people looking around like, oh, where they go to school at, right? I to be at the store at 3 o'clock. We got to say, I am at the store, or of course, the future format of that, I will be, right? So we're making the subject agree with the doer of the action. That's what we know in this language world as las conjugaciones or conjugations, okay? So a little recap, okay? So recuerdas, do you remember? These are our subject pronouns, los pronombres personales or los pronombres sujetos. These are when we don't want to use someone's name, okay? You've got to know these. I don't care if you write this on a sticky note, put it on your hand in permanent marker, whatever you got to do. I need you to know yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, nosotras, ustedes, ellos, ellas. I need you to know those and what they mean. Yo, tú, él, ella, nosotros, ustedes, y'all, right? You all. And then ellos and ellas. So if you look at this, if you're more of an analytic person, I want you to take a look at this chart. Everything on the left, a la izquierda, is singular, a person, one person at a time. We're talking about one individual person at a time on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, these are the plurals, the plural forms of the ones on the left. So I and another person would be we. You and a group of other people over there, that would be y'all. You and another person that I'm talking about would be they. Okay? If I'm talking to like my friend David and I'm saying, oh, they are learning Spanish, I would use ellos or ellas, right? And of course, if you're here and you've been here for a while, you know that nosotras would be we, including all women, and then ellas would be they, including all women. All right. So once again, we're over here reviewing, we're recapping because there's a lot of people that show up and they might be showing up to this live and this is the first time here. We want to welcome you in. All right, make sure you hit that notification bell and subscribe so that you can catch us when we are popping off every day or when we do have our normally scheduled live stream classes, which are on Tuesdays at noon Eastern Standard Time. All right, so hit that notification bell, subscribe so that you can get these free lessons. I guarantee you ain't nobody doing this over around here. Okay, so we got hamburguesas, donuts, galletas, y panqueques. Estoy a dieta, señor. Hey, lo siento, señor. Man, I know that thumbnail, though. It'll call some people to the yard. It will call some people to the yard. It definitely calls me. But it's think about that picture. Hey, Cryptic Minds, appreciate you, Chief. So, Kings and Dreams, I want you to look at that picture. And if you look at look at that thumbnail, everything in there is what? Stacked, right? That's the purpose of what we're doing today. We're going to learn how to stack verbs to mean certain expressions in Espanol. So let's get back to this with Kevin Hart saying, hey, wait a minute. What's an infinitive, right? Hey, tell me what an infinitive is. It's the most basic form of a verb. The to in the action, right? Or it can be to in a state of being, right? So to eat, to dance, to run, to read, to talk, to speak, to call. Those are infinitives in English, okay? In Espanol, we have those, and we're going to show them today. I'm not going to run through any of them right now, but I want you to know the most basic form of a verb is that to and the state of being or the action, okay? So another recap. Yesterday, we were in here with the three amigos, right? What were our three amigos? Okay, if you were here last time, what were the three amigos? Hay tres tipos de verbos regulares. There are three types of regular verbs. Those are our three amigos, right? That's what we call them because they ride together, okay? We've got AR verbs. We've got ER verbs. Y también tenemos IR verbs or ER, all right? Verbos ER. These are our endings, right? Those are what we're going to find on any infinitive, basic form of the verb. All infinitives are going to end in either AR, ER, or IR. Make sure you type a 1 in the chat if you understand what we're talking about when we say tres amigos. Type a 1 in the chat to let me know that you know these are the three amigos. These are our endings for our infinitives in Espanol. Hit me with a 1 in the chat. Thank you, sir. All right, excelente. Now, aprende las terminaciones. If you were not here with me, I need you to put this on your other hand. We've got our subjects, our subject pronouns on one hand. I want you to put on your other hand or on the other sticky note these endings. You've got to know these, okay? And I'm going to drill them. You show up to me, this is like a physical training or this is like a personal trainer at the gym. I'm going to drill these. Got to know these. All right, las terminaciones para los verbos que terminan en AR son. The endings are for AR verbs. O, as, a, amos, an. Make sure you're saying those out loud. If you're in a cubicle somewhere, hey, man, hit the share button. Tell them, hey, you're on your lunch break. Go ahead and join in on this class. O, as, a, amos, an. Tres tipos de verbos regulares. Excelente, kings, and dreams. Now, our ER and IR verbs son iguales. They are the same, except la forma de nosotros, except for the nosotros form. Take a look. I'm just going to put them there all together. We've got para los verbos que terminan en ER, o, es, hemos, en. All right. Say them out loud, whisper them, whatever you got to do, but you've got to put in the action here to get your mouth trained to pronouncing these words correctly or these endings, las terminaciones. O, es, hemos, en. And then the only difference for IR is hemos in las formas de nosotros. All right, so let's keep it going here. Remember, now this is how they match up. If I'm in the yo form, it goes with an O, the ending on the verb, right? Tu form, the ending is as. El, ella goes with a on the end. Amos goes on the end of my verb, okay? An goes on the end of the verb in la forma de ellos, ellas, o ustedes. And that's going to be the same format as you drop down with these two different verbs. Okay, remember, we talked about this in the beginning. Identify, drop, and add. That's how you form your verb conjugation, okay? So we got an example. Bailar, take off the AR, okay? Then we want to add in amos, okay? We knew it was an AR verb. We dropped the AR, all right? And then we add the correct ending according to our subject. Our subject is nosotros, we. So that's what we use, bailamos, bailamos, okay? Nosotros bailamos. I don't know if you ever heard that Enrique Iglesias song, Bailamos. Not a singer, but you know what I'm talking about. Let the rhythm hit your feet, bailamos. You know what I'm talking about. Te quiero, mamacita. I know you know what I'm talking about. All right, flower method. This is what we did yesterday, okay? The flower method. Remember, we talked about how this is another way you can look at it. If you are more of a visual person, I drew this, this amazing piece of art, by the way, okay? Turn this into an NFT or something. All right, so if you're a visual person, I broke it down for those visual learners, right? We've got a flower with a stem, okay? Got our stem here. We've got our roots, right? And then, of course, we got our petals up here to signify the endings, right? Well, we've established that our verb is an IR verb. We're talking about our stem being V-I-V-I-R is the infinitive. We are going to take this flower out of the ground, and all we have left is the stem and the petals. All right, this was step 3. Here are our endings that we're going to pluck off of our flower. The O, hemos, hemos, O, es, hemos, en, and this is para los verbos que terminan en IR, the verbs that end in IR, okay? So we're taking off the IR, that's why we have our stem right here, and then we're going to pluck one of those petals, right? And now I'm going to take that O and add it to my stem, which now gives me the conjugation vivo, right? I live, vivo. And you do the same concept with each petal. Vives, vive, vivimos, viven. All right? Keep plucking those petals off, okay? So now, where are we at? We're talking about the ICE method, right? That's what I'm just going through all the methods that we talked about. The ICE method, right? You can check that out in the short, but the ICE method is simple. This is how we construct any sentence in Spanish that you ever want to speak, right? We've got to identify who our subject is. We've got to conjugate our verb, and then we're going to end the sentence with some spice. We're going to put a little spice on the end of it to finish the sentence up so that we can have a complete thought in a sentence format. Okay, so we talked about the ICE method. We talked about the mesh method, where we bring all of our columns together to make a sentence. Okay, so we take our ICE method, we take our mesh method, and we put it together. Put all your words together to give you that complete thought. All right, today, this is what we're talking about. Can you, the verb can, all right, or to be able to. Can or to be able to. And we're talking about stacking, all right? We're going to stack this verb can because that's what we do in English. We stack it in English as well, all right? Stacking verbs is a normal process. I'm just breaking it down so that you can pick up what I'm putting down, okay? So check it out here. Double stack, stack cheddar, stacking, right? I talk about this, okay? What are we talking about? Ella, quiere preparar los polvorones. All right. Remember, we talked about quiere last week, last Friday, I believe it was. Quiere, right? She wants. You can kind of look at this word preparar and kind of figure out what it means in English. Ella quiere preparar los polvorones. She wants to prepare. And what are we talking about when we stack this? I'm taking one verb, which we used to call back in the day a linking verb, right? Or a helping verb in elementary school or grammar school, wherever you're from. Linking verb, wants, right? To do something. There's an action. She wants to prepare los polvorones. We're stacking this verb on top of that. We're going to get some more stacking action momentarily. Okay. Aquí tenemos nosotros queremos abrir los regalos, right? Abrir, open, right? Nosotros queremos abrir los regalos. We want to open the gifts. We're stacking that wish, that want, that desire on top of the action, which is abrir, right? Nosotros queremos abrir los regalos. Okay. We want to open. Helping verb, want, right? Here we go. This is just a review from last week. Ellos quieren ir a la misa de gallo. Ellos quieren ir a la misa de gallo. What are we talking about here? She wants to go to mass. Or they want to go to mass, all right? Ellos quieren ir a la misa de gallo. We're going to talk about la misa de gallo in a video I'm going to put out in a couple of days here, explaining what misa de gallo is. But we're stacking that helping verb on top of the verb ir, which means to go. If you don't know ir, I want you to jot that down. Ir significa to go, all right? Ir significa to go. Ir means to go in English. Jot that down. It is very useful. It's one of our most commonly used verbs in español. All right. Y aquí tenemos preguntas. All right. Preguntas. All right. Y aquí tenemos the first one. These are some older questions that we had. ¿Cuándo quieres salir con amigos? ¿Qué quieres hacer mañana? ¿Quieres un taco o burrito? No quieren ustedes ir a la playa esta tarde, right? So all of these questions are simple questions that we stacked in three of these. We stacked in three of these. One we just used without a opportunity to stack. But ¿cuándo quieres salir con amigos? When do you want to go out with friends? All right. When do you want to hang out with friends? ¿Qué quieres hacer mañana? What do you want to do tomorrow? All right. What do you want to do tomorrow? All right. Hold on one second. Then we have ¿Quieres un taco o burrito? Do you want a taco or burrito? And then ¿No quieren ustedes ir a la playa esta tarde? That's the normal rate that we would hear that. ¿No quieren ustedes, abbreviation right there, ir a la playa esta tarde? All right. Y'all don't want to go to the beach this afternoon? All right. So that's what we have going on right there. Okay. So make sure you know we always have this going on for you. It's over 80% off on the 8 strategies to become a better Spanish speaker. It is on sale right now on Amazon. Make sure you check the link in the description below or on any of our descriptions of the most recent videos. You can find that there for you. Okay. All right. So we were talking about our word of the day, la palabra de hoy, which is puedo, right? I can, puedo. So let's put it into action. All right. So aquí tenemos todas las formas del verbo querer. Poder, lo siento. All right. So here we have all of our forms of the verb poder. Poder significa can or to be able to. Make sure you jot that down. Can or to be able to. All right. Can or to be able to. All right. Now, I can in español. There we go. Sí, quiero tacos. Excelente, señor. All right. So I can. Yo puedo. We know that, but that's our palabra de hoy. All right. Neil, gracias. Gracias. All right. All right. Y you can. Tú puedes. All right. He or she can. Puede. Usted puede. When we're talking to somebody we don't know, somebody older than us, all right. Él, ella, usted puede. Nosotros podemos. We can. Okay. We can. All right. We can, or we are able to. And then they can, pueden. All right. If you're having some pronunciation issues with how to pronounce these, just simply think of the word play. Take out that L in the word play and put a W there. Pue. All right. Puedo. Puedes. Puedo. Puede. Podemos. Pueden. Put that W in there. That's going to give you the same sound. Okay. Y vamos a continuar aquí. We're going to continue. So let's take a look. Here we go. We're going to stack up some stuff here. All right. We're going to stack up some stuff. Yo puedo hablar español. All right. Oh, man. Sorry to hear that. Hopefully it catches up here. All right. Yo puedo hablar español. I can. We already know yo puedo. We know that hablar means to speak or to talk. Okay. Yo puedo hablar español. I can speak, right? I can speak Spanish. Excelente. Gracias, señor Mr. G's. Thank you for joining us today. All right. Y también, tú puedes. Uh-oh. I forgot my stack part. Hold on a second. Let's put the stack in here. Hey, man, I'm not a perfect person, so things may happen, but we're going to stack it up. I'm going to use our word of the day from a couple of classes ago to stack this bad boy in real time. How about that? We're stacking in real time. We're going to double stack this thing. Tú puedes vivir. All right. Tú puedes vivir en una casa. And we're going to add this phrase in here at the beginning to make it make sense. All right. There we go. Tú puedes vivir en una casa. Right? You can live in a house. Now, these are not great sentences by any means. We're just showing you how this works, right? Tú puedes vivir en una casa. You can live in a house. Let's take another look at a different subject. Susi, right? Susi puede ir a Houston. Susi puede ir a Houston, right? Or Houston. Houston. You might hear some people say Houston, right? Because that H is silent in Spanish, right? Susi puede ir a Houston, right? So Susi can go to Houston, or Susi is able to go to Houston. All right. Notice the conjugation here. We're going to talk about boot verbs a little later on. All right. But we would just want to make sure that you understand what it looks like right here. Puede, that O in poder is changing to a UE, correct? And then we have our conjugation for the ella form, puede, right? Let's look at the next one. Pedro y yo podemos comprar una casa. That's why you're here, Chelsea. I'm trying to break it down so you can pick it up. We're going to make it as easy as possible. If you have questions about what we're doing, and this goes for anybody, if you have any questions, type them in the chat here. All right. And I think we can make it where if I don't lose you, I'm not going to lose you because I only got 9 people every now and then. So we got about 9 people in here. Hey, man, thank you, Men on the Move podcast. That is absolutely correct. Pedro and I can buy a house. Excelente. All right. But I think I can set this up where we can add questions here. All right. So make sure you add in your questions so that I can answer those if it's pertaining to what we're talking about here. If you got any other questions, just hit me at info@speakspanishnow.tv if you have any other additional questions outside of this. Let's look at our last example of stacking, right? Ellos pueden comer pizza vegetariana. All right. Ellos pueden comer pizza vegetariana. All right. Somebody know that one? Men on the Move podcast. You might know that one as well. I think everybody can figure this one out. Just kind of use your context clues. That's mostly what learning a language is about, is utilizing your context clues to help you figure out what someone is saying. Okay. So, ellos pueden comer pizza vegetariana. All right. They can eat. Yes, excellent. They can eat vegetarian pizza. They can, not me, right? I need carne, tocino, jamon. We're gonna talk about food, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, if food is one of those things that excite you, not saying that's a bad thing or a good thing, but if you perk up a little bit when somebody's talking about some food, hey, take that avenue and learn Spanish that way. I'll give you a story a little later on when we do just a regular chill out live. I'll give you a story on how I became fluent extremely fast because of food. All right, so remember, we're talking about the 4 facets of language learning, right? So you got to know, you got to be able to speak, you got to be able to listen, you got to be able to read, and you got to be able to write, okay? If you can put all 3 of those things together, this is going to help you learn the language that much faster, okay? All right, so let's go in, and we want to think about trying to get into some speaking activities here. Let me see if I can, because I'm looking for something here. Kings and Dreams, you still in the building, Chief? I might need your assistance on something here. All right. I want to see, and if I don't find it right now, there's no worry. And then we'll take a look at it later. But if Kings and Dreams in the building, make sure you let me know that you are here. All right, so here we go. We're doing mesh and stacking. All right, I've made it a little bit easier for you. All right, so Chelsea, you might be able to excel at this. All right, let's take a look at it. So in our first column, and we've got 2 of these today. All right, in our first column, we've got our subject, right? Identify the subject, ice, right? We've got the option for you to use the word no in here. And if you don't know, no pun intended, but if you have never learned where or how to make a sentence negative in Spanish, it always goes. This is a note. This is a little nugget that you can add to your apuntes, to your notes there. Add this in. To make a verb or a statement, to make a statement negative in Spanish, put the word no in front of the conjugated verb. All right. Hola, señor. Buenas, buenas. All right. If you want to make a statement negative, put no in front of the conjugated verb. Okay. I can't eat vegetarian pizza. They can't eat vegetarian pizza. We would say, ellos no pueden comer pizza vegetariana. All right. No pueden comer. All right, so we've got that option. If you want to make it negative, you are at liberty to do so. We've got all of our conjugated forms of the verb poder. All right, puedo, puedes, puede, podemos, pueden. And then we've got some endings. We're ending our sentence here, right? In these last 2 columns, we're ending the sentence off. Ir al, to go to the, all right, to go to the. Abrir, open, right? Comer, to eat. Tomar, in this situation, to drink. Escribir, to write. Okay? So I want you to put a sentence together. I don't care which one you do, just put it together and put it in the chat for me. Okay? That's exactly what I need from you. If you want to create that sentence, just put it in the sentence. Put it in. Yo no como pizza vegetariana, me gusta carne. Chelsea, first of all, I don't know how grammar could be difficult if you just gave me that sentence right there. Shout out to you with that sentence. That is amazing. All right. Yo no como pizza vegetariana, me gusta carne. Perfect. I got it. I understand. Negative sentence right there. All right. And then you gave me an affirmative sentence on the end. All right. I like it. Good stuff. Now, Chelsea, while you're in the building here, give me a sentence as well as everybody else here. All right. Todd, if you can give me a sentence here using these columns, because I know you're in Bogota right now, so you can you might be able to give us a little bit more fluidity here in a statement, but I want to read what you have, okay? All right, I want to read what you have. So if you've got an action or you've got a statement there, make sure you put it, okay? Tú no puedes abrir la cerveza? Ah! I love it, Cryptic Minds. Good stuff. You can't open the beer? I love it. I love it. Excelente, señor. Excelente. All right. let's see if we've got another one. Does anybody else have a statement before I go on to the next slide here? All right. Give me another statement if you have one. If you have the answer to this one. No como pizza ni tomo alcohol. All right. I can't eat pizza nor drink alcohol. All right. I don't eat pizza. Okay, that's what you said. I don't eat pizza nor drink alcohol. All right, excelente. All right. That works good for us. All right. And we're going to look for one more statement before you come up with an answer right here. Okay. We're going to come up. Okay. Yo no puedo ir al restaurante. I can't go to a restaurant sin cerveza. Excelente. Without. Yes. Excelente. All right. Excelente. Okay. Muy bien. All right. So let's go to the next one now. All right. So now in this next slide, this is what we're doing here. Okay. We are creating a question. All right. Creating a question. All right. And in the last column, I have just a question mark by itself. Okay. But you can simply add in or you can leave it. All right. You can add in another phrase here. All right. I took it away. I want to see what you remember on your own. All right. Wait, before we go back, just to make sure you remember what these are. Una carta is a letter. Parque is a park. Cerveza would be beer. And then la puerta would be door. And then tacos would be, of course, tacos, ¿verdad? All right. So let's take a look at our next slide. Let's put one together. Let's put a question here together. It can be affirmative or negative. All right. I like that, men on the move. Absolutely. Ellos no deben, right? Ellos no deben comer pizza, right? Si quieren quitar la grasa, if they want to lose fat. Excelente. That is correct. All right. Or we would also use another way, or we could also use libras, right? Which would be pounds, right? Or in other words, we're talking about weight. All right. So let's take a look here. Okay. Blank. You can use no. It's an option here. All right. And then also, while we're looking at this, you can also take it and just use the question mark. Let me real-time correction right here. You can use the K here, but you can also use the upside down question mark to signify a question just with the word itself with puedes. Oh man, come on now. The word, you know what? Okay, cool. All right, so we could also use the question mark here. Let me go through this really quickly. Sorry about that. We can also use it here or as well as right here to start off the question. We don't have to use the word K, okay? You don't have to use the word K. So we could start off with puedes and just give us a rise in intonation here, all right? Puedes, or you can use que puedes or que quieres, all right? So let me give an example. I want you to see if you can tell me. I'm going to give an example here using que, all right? So here's my example in the chat. ¿Qué quieres comer? All right. ¿Qué quieres comer? All right. There's me creating a question. All right. Notice we're still stacking. All right. All I did was stack quieres on top of the infinitive comer. All right. And we know that que, because we talked about these, que significa what, right? ¿Qué quieres comer? What do you want to eat? Right? ¿Qué quieres comer? Good answer. Now, Cryptic Minds, how would you give me that answer in a complete sentence? Because I will tell you this, I'm always about making sure when we're learning the language, or if you already know the language, for other people that are here, give me answers in complete sentences, because if you can answer in a one-worded answer, that's great. But if you're on a learning phase right here, I want you to be able to say, I want to eat. Excelente, Cryptic Minds, you are with me. You are on the same level that I am right now. Yo quiero comer tacos. I want to eat tacos. Excelente. All right, so now we are forming those questions. If you don't have the opportunity to create a question right now, you can always create that question and then put it in the comments section of the live stream once the live stream is over. All right, let's see what Chelsea's got. ¿Quieres escribir una carta para tu mamá? Or are you doing it on behalf of your mom? All right. Or if you're writing a letter to your mom, it would say, we can say, le quieres escribir, all right, una carta a tu mamá, o quieres escribirle una carta a tu mamá, all right? Because the le and the a tu mamá, that's a whole nother lesson in itself. But yes, I know what you're trying to say based on your question. If we just kept it simple and took out the a tu mamá at the end, you could just say, quieres escribir una carta. All right. All right. Excelente. Now, how would you turn that men on the move? How would you turn that into a question, though? Turn that into a question. I mean, you could technically just put a question mark on the end of that and say, quiero comer algo dulce? Do I want something sweet? Or how would you ask somebody, do you want something sweet? Or do you all, men on the move, work on that one for me. Do you all want something sweet? All right. ¿Quieres Chelsea, back to yours. ¿Quieres escribir una carta? Question mark. All right. And then we could have a conversation there. ¿A quién? Right? To whom? And then you could follow up with another statement. Oh, do you want to write a letter to her? Her being your mom. All right. So if you haven't gotten a screenshot of this, let me go ahead and dismiss myself. And then, let me try it again. All right, right here. Go ahead and get a screenshot of this. Okay. And I want you to be able to take a screenshot of this so that you can practice with these. Okay. Let's look at the last thing, the last slide before this. Get a screenshot of this one as well. Okay. Because you can still practice with this one as well. You are making an e-notebook, if you will. An electronic book. Excelente. Excelente. All right. So you're making a notebook with screenshots. Where did you do that at, right? Right here in Speak Spanish Now. Okay, so make sure you know we've got the Speak Spanish Now boot camp popping off. It's 50% off. We're doing 5 days of a gruesome workout, but it will be entertaining and fun. If you want to get in with that, make sure you hit the information down there for SSN Bootcamp 22, Speak Spanish Now Bootcamp 22. You can hit this bit.ly right here. I have it on Instagram, as well as you can copy and paste this off of, I think I might need to add this. I don't think I have this in the description, but I'll add it in the description below if it's not. Okay. We'll be starting that off on Monday. Excelente, men on the move. And I would just simply put a question mark on the end of that, right? ¿Quieren comer algo dulce? Rise in intonation on our questions, right? In Spanish, that helps somebody know what we are doing there. Hey, damas y caballeros, familia, ladies and gentlemen, family, on the next episode of Speak Spanish Now, we'll be bringing you this right here, some homework, all right? ¿Qué quiere algo dulce? All right? What does he want? All right? What do you want sweet? Or what's something that you want sweet, right? All right, excelente. All right, so we've got some tarea, all right? I will buy it. Excelente, señor. Now, we've got some homework. La tarea para ustedes. We've got some homework for you all. I have given you, is it 4 or 5? It's 4. All right, so that's not a lot. All right, you can do this in no time, okay? We're stacking, right? That's what we've been doing today. Here are some questions that utilize stacking, all right? Pastel, excelente. Bizcocho, right? Torta, depending on where you are in the Spanish-speaking world, right? Pastel, excelente. All right, so let's look at the homework here. All I want you to do is provide me a response in a complete sentence, okay? ¿Cuándo puedes escribir la carta? Okay? When do you want to write the letter? ¿Cuándo puedes escribir la carta? All right. ¿Qué puedes hacer mañana? Hacer meaning to do. That's all I'm going to give you in the next 3. Hacer being to do. ¿Puedes comer tacos y burritos? All right. Check out those tacos. If you're somebody like me, you see those tacos in the background. All right. ¿Puedes comer tacos y burritos? Okay. And then the last one. Excelente, cryptic minds. Yes, that is good. You are stacking. Yes. No pueden ustedes. Now let's look at this part. No pueden ustedes ir a la playa esta tarde. Remember that ustedes is abbreviated here, okay? This is okay to abbreviate this way, all right? No pueden ustedes ir a la playa esta tarde. Y'all can't go to the beach this afternoon, all right? You all can't go to the beach this afternoon, all right? I want you to respond to that. Now, think about this. When I ask you all a question, that means your response should be or include a format of we, right? Because I said you all can't go to the beach this afternoon. So make sure you respond in the format of either I can go to the beach this afternoon, but they cannot, or yes, we can go to the beach this afternoon. Okay. We're looking for simple answers, does not need to be complex. We're thinking about ways that we can respond or speak in simple formats right now. All right. And then you can add on some spice to your chicken, right? Or you can add some sprinkles on your ice cream a little later down the road. Right now, we just need a little bit of spice so they can be digested mentally by whoever you're speaking to. Okay, la palabra de hoy, remember it was tengo, I have, right? Tengo, I have, or yo tengo. This is what we're going to be using tomorrow. Okay, we will do just some regular activities with tengo, and then we're going to stack with tengo. I'm going to show you how to stack with the verb tengo, and then we'll of course mesh some sentences together at the end. Okay, so make sure you tune in for those. Same bat time, same bat channel, damas y caballeros. In other words, en otras palabras, soy Profe Don Omar. Nos vemos. I want to thank you all for joining me today. I will see you mañana. Adiós.